Hello and welcome to Talk and Tango, where conversations sway to the rhythm of ideas. I am Ihani Alanda, the Radio Duke, and I'm not right here alone with this amazing subject matter we're looking into. I have amazing guests right here in the studio, and firstly, uh, by my left, we have Pastor Eje Ademe, who's actually a certified consultant, human resources. He's an expert in temperament and human behavior and president of Me and My Behavior International. You're welcome, Pastor Ejademe.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And next to him is someone who's a social critic, a youth leader, a one time State House of Assembly 2019 contestant. And of course, in 2023, he also contested for the position, or he was a deputy governorship candidate in the 2023 general elections. I'm talking about Mr. Chiagozilam Ihuka, also known as Elder.
Yeah.
Welcome, Elder.
Thank you for having me.
That's
Thank you.
That's this man.
Thank you.
Okay, this lovely moment, we'll be looking into a very controversial subject matter, and that has to do with the theme Nigeria We Hail Thee. Is it a sarcasm or actually a statement of pride to Nigerians or patriotism? But before we look into that, I won't be doing this alone. I have my friend and brother right here in the studio with me, and of course, I'm talking about a fine guy, a nice guy, someone who actually knows the honors of his duty. I'm talking about Mr. Lance.
Thank you for me. Well, you should clap.
This one you had in your chest. Wait,
Clap.
wait.
You need to clap. I'm giving you a sign. Clap.
Oh, be on make it more.
Clap.
You can clap in your heart anyways.
Better. That's how to do it. That's how to do it.
So, I'd like to start with you, Pastor Eje Ademe. Nigeria, we hail thee. To you, do you think it's a statement of sarcasm or patriotism?
I don't think it's a statement of sarcasm. It's a statement of patriotism.
Okay.
Because to hail means to acknowledge a sovereignty
Mm.
and to pledge your loyalty towards the survival and the sustenance of that sovereignty.
Of
So I
sovereignty.
think it's a statement of patriotism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So other statement, what do you think?
It depends on the angle you're coming from.
Well, I think I like Elder come from the angle of the way the youths are. Okay. Okay.
Am I a politician?
Yeah.
I'm a change agent.
No,
So
no,
you're the
you're
one
a
that's giving me that tag, politician.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Okay.
Okay. I like seeing things from different perspectives.
Yes.
Right. So from a patriot, it can come off as a patriotic statement.
Okay.
It can also come up as a sarcastic statement.
Okay.
Depending
It's a combination of
It's a
both.
combination of both, depending on your mindset
Okay.
at a particular point in time.
Okay.
Right now, seeing the way the economy is, you can just use sarcasm to calm yourself down.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Now, coming from the reality, you might want to believe in your state. You believe that the state will still come back to its feet.
Okay.
So you can see it as a patriotic statement.
Mm.
Nigeria, we heard, even though the economy is bad, we still believe it's going to come up
There's still
well.
some hope.
You understand?
Okay.
So that's why I said it can come off from two angles, either as a sarcasm or as a patriotic statement. But the choice is left for the person who is seeing it from any of these angles.
Mm.
So it is out of that patriotism
Yes.
that I decided to put the little resources I have to try to seek for an elective office. Even when it did not materialize, it has not stopped me from being patriotic in the state.
That's also understanding the fact that you have your own role to play, coming from your own sphere. I hear people say, it's an indigent that can help, take care of their issues, the issues of their area. So like, let me borrow the quote, oh, yeah, bag and rub. I hear that
Yeah.
very often.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Pastor J, I asked the question if you're a patriotic Nigerian citizen, and you said yes. I had a very reason for asking it. If you're in a country like Nigeria, sometimes
the situation around can frustrate you, and sometimes the situations around can give you this sense of pride that you're Nigerian. Most times I hear people that say that you don't value where you're from till you leave that place. I've had friends who left Nigeria. Most times they say they miss home, they miss Nigeria. But when they're around, they keep lamenting about the frustrations that they face as Nigerians. So I want to ask you, do you face these frustrations as a Nigerian, as an entrepreneur that you are? Because I know you run certain businesses aside from being a consultant, and I know how running businesses in a country like Nigeria can be. So do you face these frustrations, and how do you deal with them?
Yes, like every other Nigerian, I face these frustrations every day.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, on a daily basis. And the only way to deal with it is to adjust. Man is a being that have been designed by God to be flexible enough to adjust to situations. It's now your level of flexibility. When you get to elasticity, you tend to react. But when you see it's a situation that you as an individual cannot change or handle, you adjust. So like every other person that is finding a way around the situation and adjusting, I'm also finding a way around mine and also adjusting.
Okay. Do you mind giving us scenarios so that probably people listening want to borrow a leaf from you? You might say, I had Pastor J do this. I think if he did this and he succeed, I would have to do something like that. So if there are any scenarios I can give to you.
Well, one of the things I now do is to make sure that whatever I want to embark on that requires cash, make extra provisions for it.
Okay.
Just not to be taken unawares.
Okay.
Like now, I'm ready to go to the next gas station and hear that fuel is 1,005 without shouting.
Okay.
Yes, it's one of my survival instincts now.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready to go to the grocery store and not ask for individual items of what I'm picking.
Okay. Getting
Do you
them in
get?
bulk.
Just pick whatever you want to pick, go to the cash point, pay, and leave.
And leave.
for
They're
peace of
finally
mind.
leaving.
For the sake of my mental health. For the sake of my mental health. And leave. Because you'll be shocked to realize that geisha has increased in price by almost 200%.
Wow.
And that could affect your appetite for that geisha.
Yeah, I know
Wow.
that. Talking about geisha, I used to be a
so-
fan of geisha. I used to
Okay.
be a
When was the
huge
last time you
fan.
took geisha?
I used to be, I
can't tell you.
Since last year.
The economy has taken that hunger away
nice.
from
Do
you.
you know why the economy took geisha away from you? Because you're conscious of the price.
Wow. Wow.
That's why the economy took geisha away from you.
Wow.
So if you want to keep, living the life you want to live and how you want to live it, don't look at the price tag. Just pick whatever you want to pick.
What if you can't afford them?
You asked me what I'm doing, how I'm handling mine. This is how I'm handling mine.
Wow.
And
Okay.
for those that I cannot go to the grocery store to pick, I tell myself, the last time you bought this was what it cost. Make arrangements to pay higher this time around. And so when I go to buy those things and I hear it's no longer this, I've already made provisions.
Yeah, the adjustments.
I've already made the adjustments from home before leaving.
All right. So now we look at some Nigerians now. Nigerians have a way of being sarcastic over everything. Would you say sarcasm is a coping mechanism for them? That's with the whole situation going around.
I think it worsens the situation. It's a temporary thing.
Okay.
It's temporary. It's not real. It gives you that solution kind of mentality or consciousness. But at the end of the day, does it solve the problem? It doesn't
So-
solve it.
Elder, what do you have to say?
Yeah, well, everybody have the way they handle each situation, right? Now, some people waking up to reality helps them to handle the situation. Like
Okay.
Pastor just said, you have already resigned to faith that this is what it is. So every day he wakes up, this is what it is, and he's going to face it. Whereas the other person might try to live in denial that this is not really how it's going to be. So he tried to make it a joke or turn it to sarcasm, right? Maybe that sarcasm also helps the person to cope with the situation. Because if the person wants to be like Pastor J, the person might run mad. Do you understand? The person might run mad automatically. So some people will now use that sarcasm to start coming to terms with the situation. Maybe over time, they can now come back to reality. But if they want to face the reality like Pastor Eje, maybe he might end up in Tumbos or or any other psychiatric home.
But you know,
So that's
this sarcasm, there's a way that I can be creative around it.
of course.
You can, if you're a musician, you can decide to be creative about the whole sarcasm thing, make money from it. But I think this brings us to satire. Is satire and sarcasm, we see it as the same thing. Where you decide to be sarcastic about the government, or where you decide to be a satire where you have to ridicule the government. So are there any similarities between the both of them?
I think I see the two of them playing out in Nigeria now.
Okay.
Yes, I see the two of them playing out because a lot of people, because they have access to data,
Yeah.
so they just go online and start misbehaving. I'm happy that some of them are ending up behind the bars because you step on the wrong toes, they
Yeah.
pick you up.
Crossing the line.
But you know, this didn't start today.
I
Because
know, but you know,
growing up, I heard about Fela. Even though I was still a kid. I don't know if I was. I don't know.
And
But I
we
know I
also
heard
feel
about.
behind bars too.
But I knew very well of Idris Abdulkarim when he did Nigeria Jaga Jaga. That was under OBJ's tenure.
Yes.
Under OBJ's tenure. So
Yes.
these things didn't start today.
see, in human behavior, from research, I've discovered that some people are just like that. They were born like that. From
Okay.
childhood, they've been like that. Somebody like Showore will not change from what he's doing. You understand? He will always see something to criticize. He has his own philosophy.
Okay.
Do you understand? So anything outside that is the range of his philosophy, he will come after you. Do you get? There are people that is their nature. Right from his days in the University of Lagos, he has been like that. Everybody that's close to him says, leave Showore, he's like that. But what about these ones that you are nowhere? You only have data on your phone. And you are misbehaving. You can't. The things that Showore will escape, you can't escape it. That's why I'm having problem. These other ones that you don't have any philosophy, there's nothing backing you.
Yeah.
You just see something that is trending, you jump into it and you start misbehaving. They always end up behind the bars if they step on the wrong tools. So the two of them they are playing out in Nigeria, and I don't think it's a good development.
But which do you prefer? The satirical part of it or the sarcasm part of
The
it?
satirical part of it is dangerous, very, very dangerous, because it can end somebody behind the bars. But the other part of it, it creates fun, you know, helps some people have temporary relief, like
Takes
Elder
care
said.
of your BP.
You make fun out of it, like the ones that are trending now.
Yeah.
People are making fun out of it and all the rest of them. But what I will advise people is enjoy the fun while it lasts, but make sure you know when to leave the scene
And face the reality.
so that you don't get into trouble.
Okay.
Yes. You know, Niger, anything like that will trend. And it's always a good thing for. I wish I'm a blogger. I will just cash out by now.
But it takes time for you to be able to get to that level where you cash out.
You build quickly.
Okay, I wanted to say something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I tend to differ from what he's saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, everybody has their way of expressing themselves. Right?
Okay. Okay.
The person that is being sarcastic is doing what he can do.
Okay.
The person being satiristic is also trying to do what he or she thinks works for him.
Okay.
It's like grief. You must definitely find a way to express it. So if I'm not happy with you, I might decide to express it in a sarcastic way, or I use satire to express it. So that you are using satire, I'm using sarcasm does not make my own way of expressing myself bad. Neither does it make yours bad. Do you understand? The only thing in here in Nigeria is that no leader wants to be criticized.
Okay.
That is the gospel truth.
So if you are saying
Either
some-
military or civilian. The only government in Nigeria that in a way tried to balance self-criticism was Goodluck Jonathan's regime. Since after his tenure, no other presidents have been able to accept criticism without attacking the person the criticism is coming from. So to me, I think both of them works in tandem, provided the government listens to what this person is saying. Like African China, he did his own in a different way.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
It was satire. Try to make it a sarcasm in a bit. Do you understand? But Idris Abdulkarim went all out and said, "This is what it is, and it is what it is." And
But Idris Abdulkarim was not arrested.
he was not. He was
So
not.
that
The
means,
only
that
thing
means
that
OBJ
he was
accepted Satan.
no, he was also the song was also bad.
Okay.
It
But
wasn't
we know
aired
that
in
even after they
Nigerian
banned
Airways.
the song that I've released that has gone viral has gone viral.
Get the point.
But was
Get the
finally
point.
banned.
It was banned, right? It wasn't played in Nigerian Airwaves.
Okay.
The reason why you can even listen to it now was because of internet.
Mm.
If not for internet, you may not have access to it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So my point is this: everybody have their own way of expressing themselves, but you should not do it outside your fundamental human rights. Because once you go outside your fundamental human rights, you are stepping on a toe, and the toe you are stepping also have his or her own fundamental human rights to retaliate, maybe with the through the law. And that's where he's talking about going behind bars.
Yes, going behind bars.
Yes.
Okay, let's drift a little. Let's just fast forward a little bit to the more pressing subject matter I'm looking into now. I'd like to direct this question to Pastor Eje. The previous first line in the national anthem was "Arise, O compatriots," and then it's now been changed to "Nigeria, we hail thee." So there's been so many. I mean, the lawmakers gave their reasons. You know, we've heard from the government, and there's been sparked up reactions amongst the polity or citizens as regards changing that line or that phrase. So, Pastor J, what's your thoughts on this before we now, move it a little bit deeper?
My thought is funny.
But it's still your thoughts anyway.
Since 1960, they've been telling people to arise. You refuse to arise. They say this crop of politicians now came and say this arise thing will not work.
We don't rise.
Let's hail Nigeria. Nigeria will help the.
Okay.
I own their sovereign land. So let's try something new.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Because the
We'll be
arise
telling
sounds
you
like
arise or compatriots.
it sounds like we'll be
Nigerians.
sleeping.
No. It's like the problem is from the national anthem. Let's help Nigeria first and see whether our problem will be solved.
Like
the truth-
Etodik and Kome, you may
yes. So, but the truth is that I have to be sincere. I was one of those that didn't like the change of the national anthem. But if you go through,
I should support you with that.
eh?
I should support you with that. I never liked it.
I never liked it, but I can be detailed at times.
Yeah.
So, but when you go through the current national anthem, from the first verse to the third verse, the third verse is the killer.
Okay.
The third verse is the killer. So, I wish we can leave out the things that are there. If we can leave out the things that are in the three stanzas of this current national anthem, I think we'll have majority of our problems solved, because the first stanza has a lot to do with our uniqueness as a multi-tribal nation.
Okay.
And despite our differences, our resolve to come together as a sovereign nation,
Okay.
I think it's a message
Okay.
that if it is internalized, it will help us solve most of the problems that we're facing right now as a nation. I don't know if it will come up in this podcast, but I would like to address some of them, because if they are addressed, I promise you, we'll go far as a
No, you
nation.
can go ahead to address them.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
hold
Yes,
on now.
definitely.
Oh,
We have that. Let's hear from
I think changing it has not even solved problem. Because
Okay.
even the economy started going bad.
Worse.
Start getting worse.
After
When
the
it
introduction
changed-
of
when they
Nigeria,
changed
we
it.
hailed
So
thee.
After
we shall
hailing,
go to our throwback.
do you understand? Okay, that's by the way. Nigeria we heard the is not Nigerian, in quotes.
Okay.
The Lillian of Lady that composed the song before Frances Bender gave it.
Yes.
Okay, Lillian wrote the lyrics for Frances. Now they composed, gave it a tune. It's not Nigerian, so that was the major contest.
Okay.
Mind you, this is not new. We used
Yes, it was-
we only started using Arazo compatriots I think from 1978.
From 1988, yeah.
See, adult and independent. That was after when the Union Jack was pulled down and the Nigerian flag was hoisted. We started the Nigeria we held the. So we are hailing when we had the first queue and the counter queue.
Yes.
We were still hailing, and the military we are also hailing us.
We're heading back.
Then before we now say, okay, let's do something that is indigenous. The both lyrics are good, left with me.
Yeah.
But I would have, what even made me to start having my reservations about the anthem was the shredded way through which it was passed into law. It was so clandestine that nobody could understand the reasons. It was as if something was at stake.
Okay.
We must do this thing, we must do this thing now. The thing passed first reading, passed second reading,
Mm.
third reading.
Mm.
The Senate did overnight
Yes.
executive session.
Yes.
Before you know it, the president have assented to it. We are
In
like,
a week.
what happened? What are we rushing? Why are we rushing? At the end of the day, after rushing this whole thing, and our economy now came back and starts, and the economy is not hailing us. So I think, I think there's more to this that we are seeing. So
Yes.
left with me, I still prefer Arise O Compatriots
Compatriots.
because it's indigenous and it's straight to the point.
Straight to the point. Okay.
If Nigeria will healthy should work, that means our leaders that brought it back should start living it. So if they are not living it, they shouldn't force it on us that
Okay.
we must use that anthem. That's my personal opinion about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said something about some certain issues you want to purchase. I'm very curious. I'm very curious about it. There's something that I know you have not said yet, and I know that you have a lot to share to us. You have a lot.
Yes.
You have a vast knowledge that is there. I can feel it from here. So please, I'm begging, pour out everything to us.
Okay, the gospel truth is that our national anthems, both the first and the second, they are good. They are very beautiful.
Okay.
Both the old and the new. They are all beautiful.
The old new.
And the old new. They're all beautiful. And guess what? I'm not interested in who composed it. I'm interested in the weddings.
Okay.
Do you get?
Yes.
Whether I call it old or new. The write-up there is what I'm interested in. And if we can leave it as a nation, from our leaders to the person that is walking on the streets, there's no how we won't live together in peace as a nation.
Okay.
Talking about the first stanza is talking about our though tribes and tongue may differ. Do you understand?
Yes.
We are together as a sovereign nation, despite our different tribes and tongues. What is the major problem in the last election?
Okay.
What was the major problem in the last election?
Tribes and tongues.
Tribes and tongues. That's just it.
Yes.
And there are people that are behind the scene weaponizing it.
Okay.
Every election, the elections are over now. I can comfortably talk with a Yoruba guy. I can comfortably relate with my Hausa friends. But once election comes, the guy starts distancing himself. Why? Guy, what's your problem? He suddenly realizes that I'm not his tribe and I don't speak his language. Why are we always conscious of it during election? And what makes it disappear after election? People, that's why I'm happy this national anthem came back. So that we'll keep reminding ourselves on a daily basis that this is what is destroying us. We are a nation, for crying out loud. Some people think that the amalgamation of 1940 was a mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. I'm still proud of this nation, and I still want us to continue to live together. But the truth is that we are in a new generation. I used to tell people that when I was teaching 10, 20 years ago, my style of teaching appealed to them. But I can't use the style I used to teach 20 years ago now. Because 10 years ago, I was talking to Generation Next. Now, I'm facing Gen Z.
Yeah.
I can't use that model. I'm trying to make the people of this generation know that what destroyed the old Nigeria was tribe and tongues.
Okay.
And we should not allow them infiltrate us. They are still using the same old magic to infiltrate us. We must come to a point as a nation where we lose consciousness of the fact that this guy is not my tribe and is not my tongue. That's what will make this nation work. That's what that first stanza is talking about. Though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood, we stand. That brotherhood is what I need, Oga. Especially from the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because these guys are too old that they don't care about you.
Wow.
They have gotten to the peak of their life. What they're just doing now is packing up their dollars and their money and their oil wells. They don't care about you. They've gotten to the apex of their life. You are the one that you are going somewhere. Why are you allowing them to use this poison to infiltrate you? Now see the national anthem. It's reminding us that though tribe and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we should stand together as a nation. We saw this hardship coming before the elections, and we looked at the people that presented themselves as candidates, and on our own we did our assessment, And all of us came together and said, this is the direction we are going. But what happened at the end of in the middle of the road, these same old people came and weaponized tribe and tongues and
Wow.
dismantled the whole thing.
Wow.
And all of us now are suffering it. But guess what? They are not suffering. They are making money out of it.
Weaponizing
And so
it.
they weaponize tribe and tongues.
Wow.
For their personal gains.
For their personal gains. And guess what? Those of us that have data are the ones encouraging them.
Wow.
Because
Data
once
like
you
a
receive an
place.
alert of 50K now, you go online and start supporting them. When I see some comments online, I begin to wonder, these people that are making these comments, are they okay?
Wow.
I go to their profiles and see that these guys are not up to 30. They are in their mid-30s or thereabout. I say, don't these people think about their future and the future of their children? So the thing is that when it comes to tribe and tongues, that's why we are where we are today as a nation. How much was fuel before the last election? How much was dollar before the last election? Everything has tripled, going to ×4 what it was. And yet, if you talk, they will come for you. You can't protest. But what is wrong with protest?
What
is wrong with protest?
What is actually protest? Because I think protest
So-
is being missed.
So the issue of tribe and tongue is one of the things destroying us. And that's why I like the
new national
resurrection
anthem.
of the national anthem. The next one observation I made is religion. Religion.
Okay.
Religion is another thing destroying us as a nation. I don't see anything wrong in me being a Christian and my brother next to me is a Muslim. As long as I'm not stepping on his rights and he's not stepping on mine, he's free to go and do his worship, and I'm free to go and do my worship.
And you still
And
do
somebody that
business
is a
together.
traditionalist is also free to go and do his worship.
No, I saw something.
I don't
saw
have
something
any-
in the protest.
I'm
I
not-
saw something that I loved. We were protesting on Friday of the protest. No,
Yeah.
it was
Muslims
one
were praying. I have the
Muslims
picture.
were praying.
Christians were
Christians
protecting them.
protecting them.
That is the
Then
nation.
on Sunday, when Christians are praying, Muslims are protecting. And I saw that. I loved
That
it.
is the nation I want to see,
That is
and
it.
it's gonna happen. I want everybody watching this podcast to know that you see that scene, that picture. I've saved it. I'm gonna keep it forever.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Wow.
keep that image forever, and I'm gonna tell my children, wherever you find yourself,
Wow.
and you are in the midst of any Nigerian, forget about what language the person is speaking, forget about who the person is worshiping, forget about where the person worshipped. Look at this image. Protect that person. That's patriotism.
Wow.
He is a fellow Nigerian.
Okay.
Whatever is paining you is also paining that. Whatever
That's
is
right.
pitching is also pitching that
That's
person.
right.
Two of you should speak in one voice. If you don't like the price of fuel, two of you should speak in one voice. But you know what is happening now? Because my uncle is the president of Nigeria, I will keep quiet. Every other person is free to complain about the price of fuel, except me. And even when I complain, my uncles in the village will call
call
me
you.
and start asking me, are
Wow.
you okay?
Wow.
When even if others want to run down our
brother,
president,
you
you
too?
too want to join them.
Wow. Making it a
But I
family
belong
business.
to a tribe. I belong to a group of people that even if it is my uncle, the very first set of people that will come and tell you that you are doing the wrong
His
thing
family.
are my kinsmen.
Wow.
But that's not what is happening in Nigeria. Every other person from the president's tribe has become deaf and dumb.
Wow.
How many of them are talking? They are not talking. Even when they are part of the pain, they are not talking. So we are pretending. As long as this nation is concerned, we are pretenders. Why? Tribe, tongue, religion. And I'm shocked that even the people I expect to talk, that were talking before,
All of them have
Christian
talked-
Association of Nigeria,
They are not deaf and
they are
dumb.
also deaf and dumb. Do you know why? So many things have gone behind the scene.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So nobody, the effrontery that they had in 2015 and 2018 is suddenly deflated.
Wow.
Nobody is talking.
Wow.
And that is why you see what is happening in the church today.
Okay.
That's why what is happening in the church today is happening. Somebody is selling the Lion of Judah. I saw the video 2 days ago. I said, no wahala. One day you will sell the canvas of God.
Hey,
Esther, please, before we run away from this particular
Yes, okay.
issue,
Yes, please.
I'm supposed to answer questions.
Yes.
But now I want to ask. Now, so I understand the fact that the old new anthem, the lyrics are are very good, and if we leave it out, it will help the nation. Now, who are the people who are using tribe and tongue to destabilize us? Are they not the same persons that came up with this? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so what is different? So why are they giving us the anthem so that tribe and tongue will not divide us, and they are
But
still
yet,
using tribe and tongue and religion to divide us, to also suppress us? So
I'll answer the
why?
question. I'll answer the question straight.
Yes.
You know, when they went for beavers, they didn't know what was coming. Do you get?
Mm.
When they went for beavers, they didn't know what was coming. Beavers reignited the enthusiasm of Nigerians. So believe, you people are using electronics. We be Gen Z now. Now what till we carry they leave? Share you not go project the results real life. No wahala. Everybody started going for their voters card. Because they knew that with that electronic arrangement, it would be hard to manipulate the results. So everybody within this dispensation wait for their PVCs. At the time, they were accused as being six computer guys with laptop in one room. They thought it was a joke. When reality dawned on them, they started running helter skelter. And I think that's what is going to happen to this anthem. God works in a mysterious way. People have been praying for this nation, and I promise you that one day that prayer will be answered by God. And guess what? The people that are supposed to be the umbrella that God will use to answer the prayer of Nigeria will not be anywhere to be found. God is going to use the people on the streets to answer the prayer of Nigeria, because as long as I'm concerned, I believe that Nigeria will work, and one day it will. You see this national anthem, I don't care about the motive that made them bring it back, but one day some people will sit down, go to this national anthem, and see that this is what Nigeria should be. It becomes their vision of a new Nigeria. And the way they believed in beavers and went out and embraced the election, they are going to believe in this anthem. The people that brought it are not living it, but there is a generation that is coming up that will look at this anthem, believe it, live it out, and become an army that will bring the change that is needed in Nigeria.
I'm tempted to shout,
now I want to ask
preach
you a
on pastor.
I want to ask you a question. You've asked him a question now. I'm asking a question
Okay.
now. And this question now is coming to know. You've asked him something about the anthem and all of that.
Yeah.
Now I want to know, truly, do you believe in the potential of this country? Do you believe that with the way we are going, we can restore this country back to where it has been, or to be a better state?
just what I even wanted
Okay,
to ask.
okay. Number one, if I don't believe in Nigeria, I will have joined the Japas syndrome. You wouldn't have seen me in Nigeria by now.
Wow.
But
Okay.
because I believe that Nigeria is a great state. It's a great state,
Yes.
and has a lot of potentials, both human and material,
Nigeria.
even natural resources. Just that we are lacking in the human capacity to harness and manage it properly. But I still believe that, like Pastor J rightly said, that a generation of people who have sense are coming up, who will take up the mantle of leadership and harness every resource in this nation and make it even a greater nation, beyond what we are even anticipating or what we are expecting. I believe that so much.
Okay.
Do you have hope in Nigeria?
Yes,
Celeste.
Yes, now. No, it's like being hopeful in a hopeless situation.
Yes.
Now, for the fact that you sleep every night and wake
Yes.
up means you have hope.
That's right.
Because if you don't have hope, we'll have died last night.
You'd have given up.
You know,
That's
you see,
a big
the word is give up.
And
Give up.
Give up.
Yes.
You say give up the ghost. That means you are the one. Now
You let go.
you are the one that's okay. I don't tire. I don't
Uh,
want again.
Yes.
But for the fact that you still won, that's why you did not give up. That's why you slept and you woke up. Even when you did not eat last night too, but you still managed to wake up. That means there is still hope. And Nigeria is definitely going to become a very great nation. I believe that. It's going to happen in our lifetime. So mark it somewhere.
All right. Just before we draw the curtain on this segment, I'd like to still refer back to Pastor J. Sir, how? Because I see we're all patriots right here, and of course you've stipulated very solid points, and I feel it's going to be. I'll hear from you, and at the same time, Elder as well. How do we boost or reboost the hope of Nigerians to believe in Nigeria, especially in this day time?
I want to address the Gen Zs.
Okay.
I'm more interested in them than any other person.
Okay.
Any other person, I'm sorry, you are not part of what I'm about to say. I want to address the Gen Zs.
I'm part of Gen Z.
I want to address the Gen Zs.
Okay.
You see that movement that happened before the elections?
Okay.
NSAS protests.
No.
It started from there.
Yeah,
It started from there. You see that movement
Yes.
that
yes.
started from the NSAS?
Yes.
Forget about the fact that it was later weaponized than the rest of them. You see that movement that culminated to the pre-election period?
Yes.
That is who you are. It's an expression of your hunger to make your nation work. I want to shock you. Nigeria is the envy of the whole world.
That's right.
That's right.
The things that kill people in US and UK, Nigerians have survived them.
That's right.
A lot of people are committing suicide. A lot of people are depression. A lot of people are depression candidates
Wow.
overseas. A lot of people are paying heavily to counselors
Wow.
over the things that, if it's in Igbo land, they call it ofenkupu. It's nothing here in Nigeria. We have evolved. There's a way you go through hardship. You evolve. Certain things will not mean. In secondary school in those days, there's a way they'll flog you. You deliberately commit an offense and you bring out your hand and collect the 6 and you move on. So we have toughened by reason of the things we have gone through, and yet we are still surviving. It means that we have a hope. A new Nigeria is possible. Don't give up. Nigeria is going to come back to what it should be, and that is the pride of Africa. Not just the pride of Africa, but the whole world is going to envy this nation. Because the kind of resources we have in this country cannot be found anywhere in the world except in Israel.
Wow.
And just as the world is afraid of Israel, the world will one day be afraid of Nigeria.
Wow.
But it comes with a price.
That's right.
Tribe and tongues.
Standing as one.
They came and weaponized tribe and tongues, and they dismantled our structure. I'm talking about the structure of the Gen Zs. The generation that ask questions. The generation that need explanations.
Wow.
The generation that is always demanding for feedback.
Wow.
A generation that knows that this is wrong and they say it the way it is.
Wow.
That thing that is your vision, which is a new Nigeria that works, is going to come to pass. Don't give up. That is what I have to say. Don't give up. Nigeria is possible, and it will. A lot of people have seen the vision. The problem is that the people that are supposed to make it work, they gave up.
They did.
They compromised in the middle of the road. But I know you guys, the Gen Zs, you don't compromise. You have what you believe, you go for it. You make the sacrifices, you pay the price. And you are the ones that will bring about a new Nigeria. As for the old people, they are compromised, they are gone. So don't look on them. Keep believing in a new Nigeria because it will come to pass. But the price is that make sure that tribe and tongues, they are not weaponized, because when they are weaponized, you are the ones that will go online and post it.
Wow.
And make sure that anybody that misbehaves in power, whether it's your blood sister or your in-law, when others are condemning his actions, join and condemn what is bad. Don't call black white because your uncle is the one in power.
Okay.
Tribe and tongues is compromising you. Religion, please. Whether you are a Muslim or a Christian or a traditionalist, it shouldn't matter. This is a nation with 250 tribes, with multi-religions. If we drop these things by the corner and focus on how to make this nation work, this nation will work and this old man will be by the corner and see that it's actually working.
Right.
It will take you,
Wow.
it will take me. I believe it, but I don't know about you. If
Wow.
you believe it, we'll start now to work towards it. And I promise you, one day, it will happen.
Wow. You're reminding me of Martin Luther King Jr.
like if I wanted to say preach on pastor.
All right, so Elder, over to you. I mean, boost the hope of the Gen Zs, like let me borrow Pastor J's word.
Okay, from what we've seen so far, I think we still have hope
Okay.
that the Gen Zs, they are going to do something
Okay.
maybe better than our fathers and even better than Generation X, because a lot of things went bad. Unlike the previous generation, Gen Z, they are not keeping quiet. They are talking. No matter what it is, they ask questions, they will talk. Even that thing they say nobody should talk about, they'll still talk about it. They should continue with that. But
Okay.
while they are talking, they should start equipping themselves
Okay.
for the leadership roles.
Okay.
Because when you talk and you're not ready, when the leadership position comes, we still go back to make same mistakes our fathers made.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
it is our responsibility to start equipping ourselves, do the necessary courses, the necessary studies, do the necessary researches. You know, like they said, a man who doesn't know where he started, where he started beating, will not know where he stopped. So if you don't understand what happened to our fathers,
Yes.
if you don't pay attention to it,
Pattern.
it will still repeat itself. And that's history repeating itself. And we'll still pass on the same issue to our children, and they'll still pass it on.
Keep
And Nigeria
working with
will,
that mentality.
and we still
Keep
hoping,
recycling it.
still hoping that
Yes.
we are hoping Nigeria will change when
Keep-
nothing is changing. So it is our duty, everybody, old, young, male, female,
Yes.
to start equipping themselves for leadership roles.
Wow.
And once we do that, once we are well equipped, one day it will fall into our corner to do the right thing.
Okay.
And definitely we'll execute it.
Wow.
That's all I have
Wow.
to say. Thank you.
You're talking like you're in the pool. Okay. Dear viewers, I would like to ask that you drop right there in the comment section your experience as a patriot with the hashtag Talk and Tango. Let us know your experience as a patriot right here in Nigeria. Just drop it right there in the comment section and let's know how it's been for you or how it's going for you being a patriot right here in Nigeria. Okay, you've heard it all from our guests and of course my co-host. Share with us right there in the comment section your experience being a patriot in our dear nation. Let us know how the journey has been so far or how it's going with you right there in the comment section. And hashtag Talk and Tango. On behalf of my co-host, I'd like to say special appreciations to you, Pastor AJ Ademe, and of course, thank you so much for coming around.
Thank you
We
for
appreciate
coming,
you.
sir. It's
It's
very
always a
grateful.
pleasure.
Thank you so much, Elder Statesman.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you, Elder, for coming around.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, both of you, for making out time out of a busy schedule to make sure you're here.
Thank you.
We'll do this some other time. Thank you so much for joining us on this particular episode. On behalf of my friend,
Mr. Lens.
I am Ihayi, the Radio Duke, and this is me saying bye for now. See you on the next episode.